Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Forgotten Worlds for the Sega Genesis. In this 1990 shoot-'em-up from Sega, Bios, the king of the false gods, has ravaged and enslaved the Earth. So it's up to two nameless warriors to defeat him with the power of their muscles, laser guns, sunglasses, and pure testosterone. A winning save-the-Earth recipe if I've ever heard one. So this is Sega's premier jetpack shooter, but the characters don't actually have jetpacks. They just float around. But that's not what makes this game unique. The novelty factor is the rotation controls, which let you aim in 360 degrees by spinning yourself and your satellite around clockwise and counterclockwise with the action buttons. Luckily, you can set the cannon to auto-fire, so you don't need a third button to shoot. But if you want, you can hold it down while rotating to keep the satellite fixed in place. I didn't like doing that though, because the satellite acts as an invincible shield, so I always wanted it blocking stuff for me. Also, because the merry-go-round spinning in place made my macho, shades and muscles tough guy hero look kinda like an idiot. Even beyond how silly my painful lack of dexterity made him look. I never got used to the control scheme of this game, and it took a lot of save states and a lot of repetition to cheat my way through. Not only that, I had to give in and rely on a strategy guide after I got stuck at the halfway point and had to start over. Bless Dimitri Houston over on GameFAQs.com for his online walkthrough and notes, cause I didn't stand a chance without him. See, Forgotten Worlds is as much about financial planning as it is about shooting and dodging. You need to collect enough currency from defeated enemies to strategically buy the best power-ups for the best situations in the mid-level shops. Luckily, our boy Dimitri on GameFAQs must be a savvy investment banker by day, because he laid out exactly what upgrades to buy for the most painless route through the game. And ultimately, that boiled down to taking out a second mortgage for the homing laser in level 7, and living and dying by the napalm blaster in every other stage, because it takes out the bosses like a champ. Speaking of which, Forgotten Worlds is full of these cool ancient god bosses, like sphinxes and war genies and stuff. The only hard part is figuring out where to attack some of them. If I've learned anything in all my time playing shoot-'em-ups, it's this. If you have a laser, and a boss has a face, you should beam your laser directly in their face. But Forgotten Worlds seems to have missed this memo, because you've got to attack the dragon at like the base of its neck. Yet another reason why I needed a strategy guide to figure out what I'm doing. Not to mention, the walkthrough let me know where to find hidden bonuses for life refills and stuff, which look like pinwheels and cows. Cause why not? Literally anything suits the wacky visuals of this game. I mean, you spend half your time fighting lizard men with harpoons, floating stone heads with plasma breath, and slimy retractable water worms. And the 16-bit sprite work really does justice to the designs, so I love it all. Except maybe the big wrinkly head that pops out of the clouds in stage 6. He's gonna give me nightmares for sure. The sound design is definitely a highlight of Forgotten Worlds. It's got that signature Sega charm to the music, and the audio effects are all really fun. From the bouncy explosion noises, to the damage cue that sounds kinda like a powerful fart you weren't expecting, to the digitized voice sample oof when you die. The only problem is the headache-inducing laser noise. Thank goodness you only need that weapon for the final stage. The most novel aspect of Forgotten Worlds is that it's built around two-person cooperative play, where you can each have a unique weapon, and your cannons are more powerful when you're in close proximity to each other. Our heroes have such a strong testosterone-fueled bond that you can literally see lightning arcing between them as they team up at close range. Unfortunately, my sad lonely self can't boast such a burly world-saving buddy to play with, so I went through the game single player. And what's worse, single player mode defaults to the blue guy, even though the other red mohawk dude is objectively cooler. If it weren't for the less than stellar control scheme, and the lack of continues in this game, it might be pretty approachable as far as challenge goes. But my excessive reliance on save states and strategy guides is a testament to how brutal Forgotten Worlds is. These jacked, shades-wearing, cannon-wielding, brawny warriors are only as good as the noodle-armed prescription glasses would probably hurt myself with a paperclip nerd behind the controller. That is to say, humanity isn't in the most capable hands. Nonetheless, my favorite part of this game is how over-the-top it all is. Forgotten Worlds throws anything and everything at you, so there's never a dull moment. That is, unless you make the mistake of trying to play with a controller that has more than 3 buttons. A word to the wise that I found out the hard way, this is an early Genesis game, and it isn't compatible with 6-button gamepads, so plugging in a controller with too many inputs is an automatic game over. Oof. Overall, I'm glad to have finally finished such an iconic Sega shoot-'em-up, and I'm eternally grateful to Dimitri Houston for the walkthrough that helped me clear it from my backlog. It just goes to show, you don't need excessive machismo or a ride or die player 2 to save the world, you just need a competent strategy guide, some savvy investment skills, and a controller without too many buttons.